Hello architects, and welcome back to another RPG Architect tutorial. My name is Bert, and today we're going to be going over setting up your defend and flee skills. These are pretty common in a lot of RPGs, so I thought we would take today to just set those up. Now real quick, before we jump into that, I'm going to address a couple of small mistakes I made in the last one. I apologize, but for starters, I guess since I'm on the skills page, I did show you how to set up an attack formula. However, my attack formula was really garbage. I even said it in the video. So what ended up happening when I've tested afterwards was I was healing the enemy, so I have gone ahead in and adjusted that. Here's the formula that the computer gave me. So basically HP minus max parentheses 1 comma parentheses user strength times 1.5 and parentheses minus target defense close parentheses. This is the formula that the computer spat out for me, and so that is what I plugged in, and now it works. So, you know, not a huge deal there. I did say in the last one that my formula was not very good, but I didn't realize I was healing the enemy when I did it. But anyway, so there's that. And then also I didn't notice, but somebody pointed out to me in the comments that the fire spell was actually not displaying how much damage it was doing. And so what that was in the action sequence under cast spell. I forgot to add this results element under acting. So wherever you want the results of the action to pop up, you put that. Here's what I have is target results. And so by adding that now, when they cast fire or cure or whatever, you'll see the results up there. Okay. So I just wanted to address those really quick. So anyway, let's start off with our defend skill. Now a defend skill will work better as a status effect, and you'll see what I mean by that. So what we're going to do first, we're going to come to our skill here. We're going to go down to use scope. We're going to say user, and success formula, we'll set it to 100 because there's no reason why it shouldn't be successful. We'll uncheck is used in menu, no need for that, and that should be okay for us right now. And we'll add 1 to our warm-up formula, and what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a user effect state, and so this is where we will add a new status effect basically called defending, and I actually have an open slot right here, so let's just go ahead and select that. But let's go over to the left to our status effects section. We'll choose this empty one. This is what we set it up as. Let's call this state defending or defensive or whatever you want to say. Let's scroll down here. We'll say it affects the character, does not affect the enemies. It's not gonna, we'll uncheck clear battle actions. If you have a more complicated battle system where that you might need to have that on there, that's possible, but I don't think we need that on this example. We're not going to prevent rewards. We're not going to remove the character from battle because he's just defending, right? We're going to want to use a custom battle pose, but actually looking here, I don't have one set up. So we will set that up in a moment here while we're let's go ahead and set all this up before we jump over to another section, right? So let's first do our enter and exit effects. We're going to change when we enter this state, the effects are our statistics, defense, we'll just say 200%, okay? You can adjust that to what you want, but this will be fine for the example. And then when we exit the states, let's just return it back to 100%, okay? That should work. Then the only other thing we need here is under ongoing effects. Now, if you saw here up at the top, this end when any ongoing effect ends, we do want to check that, I think, and then I will select occurs for 1 and do this drop down round. So occurs for 1 round. That should be it. That should be all we need for this. So let's go ahead, before we forget, let's go ahead and set up a different battle pose. Go over to our battle poses section, go ahead and expand this. We'll create one called defend, and we'll go ahead and edit animation. We just need to select a frame that looks somewhat defensive. Maybe this one right here, that should probably work. So we'll select that frame, and we're gonna have him just stay still with this. We don't have a full animation with it, but that'll be fine. So we have our defend battle pose. Let's go ahead back up to our status effect. defending, scroll down to custom battle pose, and then select defend, okay? Now, one more thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up an action sequence. This is probably a little redundant, but I think I liked the way it looked a little better. But I'm just gonna go ahead and call this one defending, oops, dending, Dende, my name is Dende, defending, and we'll go ahead and set a battle pose here, and we'll select our defend. Again, this is probably a little redundant, but I feel like it triggered smoother or faster, I guess, when I set it up here as opposed to not having a custom action sequence. So now let's go back to our skills, defend, and let's go to use custom action sequence, and then let's go to defending. And then you can see up here, since we selected that one spot, that blank slot, it already says defending here, and we can put in our success formula here as well, and change it to add rather than remove, okay? I'm gonna check forced because that's how I have it on my test project, but that should do it. This should work. When we select the defend skill, our character, the user, should go into the defensive stance and their defense should go up, okay? Real quick, now let's go take a look at our flee command. We really don't have to do anything here under skill, but in case you missed it, so we set up our flee skill, and really here's where, you know, your use scope might differ. Sometimes games will have it to where when a character uses flee, only the user will flee and they'll leave the rest of the party behind. Sometimes it'll be if their flee command will end the battle for everybody. So just use whichever one you want to use, either user and allies or just the user. We're going to go with user and allies, and then at the very bottom there is the is escape checkbox. So with escape checked, we're going to go back over to battles configuration, and under the escape tab here, we're just going to click that and then do battle, end battle, and check return to prior scene. Okay, easy peasy. So now let's check out those skills. We'll even show off our new attack formula and the magic damage. Oh, we only got one. Okay, well, we'll just show this off first. So our healer is going to use our flee command. And there we go, the battle ends, we are back out here. So flee works. Now let's check out, all right, we got 3, good. We got our hero. Let's first show off how much damage he does to the healer just without defense, because she's got good, she's got 30 HP, she should be able to take a hit. Let's do damage, 22 damage, all right, good. Now let's have our healer cure herself. Okay. Oh, she had 2 numbers displaying there. I think one of them was actually her MP being depleted, and one was her HP being replenished. So that's something I'll have to take care of in the polish stage. We'll be doing a video on that here soon. So now we have our mage. So let's actually show off our fire and how it is displaying the damage properly now. There we go. All right, we're back to our hero. And we need to let our healer actually put her defenses up first. So let's go ahead and just attack a guy. 24 damage there. Healer, let's put her defense up. Let's do the same for the mage. You can see that they both get into a defensive stance. Oh, it's healer's turn again. We'll go ahead and do that. So she's defending. Well, let's go ahead and attack. 10 damage. Okay, so it went down from 22 damage to 10. So our defensive status effect is working. I'll get it out eventually. All right, so that should do that. So let's just go ahead and take these guys out, and we will probably call it there. And our battle ends. All right. Well, I hope that helps. Kind of a shorter one today, I know, but it's a couple of, like I said, it's a couple of skills that are pretty common in RPGs, and so I thought I would take some time to just go over those individually. So hopefully that helped. We will be doing a polishing stage video here at some point. I'm trying to go through, you know, little bits and get everything firing off first before we start polishing things up, okay? If you enjoyed that video, please be sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Let us know how we did in the comments below. If you do not have a copy of RPG Architect, be sure to grab it while it is still in early access on Steam. You will not be disappointed. There's a lot we can do with this engine. We have barely scratched the surface, to be honest with you. Even with the amount of tutorials we've done, we're still barely getting into the capabilities of this engine. And lastly, if you've enjoyed my commentary and my tutorials, if they've helped you out and you'd like to support me further, you can do so over at patreon.com/bitbybitsound. There's over 500 songs there available for you to use in your projects, royalty free, all modeled after retro RPGs. So I think you will enjoy that as well. All right, that's going to do it for me today. You have been amazing. I have been Bert, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.